keep hearing people say that Lolita is a Russian classic. In fact, one of my colleagues the other day was like, I want to read more Russian classics this year. And I was like, cool, what do you want to read? Expecting to hear something like Dostoevsky or Tolstoy. And he started his list with Lolita. So let me say that again. Lolita is not a Russian classic. And I'm not saying this just to be a snob. I think that literary and historical context is not just helpful here, but also really interesting. Nabokov, the author, left Russia after the Soviet Revolution and never went back to live there. He spent years in Europe first, mostly Germany and France, and was still writing in Russian. That's also when he wrote his last Russian novel, The Gift, which is by many people considered his best and is a personal favorite of mine. Then, before the Second World War, he moved to the United States, and this is a very important shift, because he didn't just start translating his works into English, he actually started writing novels in English and publishing them in English. That's when such major works of his as Panin, Pale Fire, and eventually in the 1950s Lolita were written and published. The person who wrote Lolita hasn't been to Russia for decades, and hasn't been writing and publishing fiction and novels in Russian for years. In fact, during his lifetime, all of his works and books were banned from the Soviet Union, and in his words, it was Russia's loss, not his. Both strictly and metaphorically speaking, one just cannot say that Lolita is a Russian classic. It's probably not an American one either, I don't know, but definitely not Russian.